Welcome everybody to a look at another single disc limited edition release from Radiance Films, and it is 1956's The Ogre of Athens. So this is the only single disc release for this month, I believe, with two other box sets quite frankly dominating this month from Radiance Films. And yeah, this is directed by Nikos Kondoros, who I've not seen anything else from before, and it is a drama crime film, although I have seen it billed as well as a comedy and satire. Unfortunately, I've not seen anything else from the cast before. So yeah, on New Year's Eve, a timid bank clerk is mistaken for a notorious criminal mastermind who rules the streets of Athens, called the Ogre. Embracing his mistaken identity comes with a price, though, as his unwitting white lie begins to unravel. So, this is the oldest Greek film I have seen, with the only other one I have watched being Death Has Blue Eyes from Nico Mastorakis, who I've also only seen one other film from outside of that one. That was from 1976. Who is also one of only two directors from Greece I've seen anything from before, with the other being Yorgos Lanthimos. So, yeah, I say all this because to provide context for the fact that I'm not overly familiar with Greek film at all. So this is mostly all new to me, and I think this is why the apparent comedy or satirical side of this just didn't work for me, especially since I found this to be a more sad effort than a funny one due to the characters and themes that are present. That said, it is effective as far as those two aspects are concerned, and it is good, and it is predominantly grading just as a crime drama. Um, the cast is also good. It is well shot. The pacing is on point. It provides an interesting look at a period of time in Greece I am entirely unfamiliar with. The themes are well realised, the score is solid, and the conclusion for our lead character is satisfyingly done. Can't say, however, that I found the seemingly filler moments all that great, as there is a fair amount of singing and dancing going on in a specific club. And though the build up to a planned crime is decent, it ultimately comes to nothing, which isn't satisfying at all. So, yeah, I'm unfortunately only going to be able to give this 3 out of 5. Much like other films that I've gotten from Radiance as of late, like Lost Golfos, In My Skin, Through and Through. Um, Respectable effort, no doubt about that, but not one that really I was able to, you know, vibe with, I guess you could say. So yeah, not gonna say it's awful or anything like that. It's just not to my taste, which obviously isn't helped by my lack of familiarity with Greek films. And yeah, whether or not it was a language barrier or anything like that that really stopped me from getting along with the whole comedy or satire thing, I'm not sure. But yeah, outside of a couple of chuckles, just didn't find it particularly funny either. Can see where the satire element might come from to a certain degree, especially when it comes to people that have, lived a unhappy life, desperate for attention in any kind of way or form, and yeah, going to quite an extreme to pretend to being a criminal is, yeah, kind of satire. I can see at that point, but just don't think it goes far enough to be fully convincing in that regard. So, yeah, but there's the reversible sleeve artwork, and there's obviously the what I believe is the original. And then we also have a booklet with this release as well, with a couple of shots from the film on the front and rear. And inside we have cast and crew, as well as Death is the Minimum Penalty. Nikos Kondoros is The Ogre of Athens from 2025 by Andreas Giannopoulos. Then we have Excerpt from Freedom from 2010 by Jonathan Franzen. And then transfer notes and credits. So what's the excerpt in reference to? Let's take a look. Or obviously have shots from the film as well. This is a genuinely decent, funny moment where these two guys come in to the club and to try and blend in any way possible, start just slightly dancing around, but doesn't clearly work. So, yeah, so the excerpt from Freedom is an originally published book by Farrar, Straus, and Giro in 2010, reprinted with permission from Jonathan Franzen. So, I imagine it talks about the film in some regard. And not entirely sure what that's about. I can't remember seeing that in the film, but there we go. And yeah, transfer notes. For years, the rights of The Ogre of Athens were separated from the rest of the director's films. After the director's passing in 2017, an effort was made for the film to join the rest of his library, and his heirs organised for for the oh, that's a misspelling, for the all of his works. Not sure if you can see that there, for the all of his works. That's a misspelling, misprint. For all of his works to be digitized at the Staffin Film Laboratory in Athens. In the beginning, the work on the Ogre was started from the 35mm print of the film, but as the digitization process was underway, the Greek Film Academy, while organizing a tribute event celebrating Greek cinema, discovered the original negative at the storage facility of the Greek Cinematheque, and then the film, as presented here, was restored in 4K resolution from this original negative. The sound on the negative, however, was monophonic and with persistent hiss, and when the film was originally re-released by Film Trade in theatres, there were complaints. Because of this, in coordination with Film Trade, Conadros, as well as the family of the director, they undertook creating a new sound design for the film, intervening as minimally as possible while filtering out unwanted hissing and adding a limited number of sound effects to enhance the narration in parts where they were needed. So, yeah, there have been some alterations, perhaps necessary. I have found at times when watching older films that haven't had much care and attention given to them, there have been hissing involved, and to be honest, it is quite annoying, especially when you are trying to get yourself involved in the world itself, and it's even more annoying when there's action or music going on and such. So, yeah, I can fully understand why they've done some minor alterations to the sound design in there to eliminate that hissing. So, I have no issue with that, to be honest. And then on the disc itself, they've got uncompressed mono PCM audio, new introduction from Jonathan Franzen from 2025, clocking in at 7 minutes long. New interview with critic Christina Newland, clocking in at 11 minutes long from 2025. New interview with Greek film expert Dimitris Papinkalio, I'm probably saying that wrong, on the golden age of Greek cinema from 2025, clocking in at 26 minutes long. Newly improved English subtitle translation. And then you've got, so the reversible sleeve has designs based on the original posters, and then that limited edition booklet as well. And that's the reverse as well of the sleeve. So yeah, decent film, but yeah, like I said with those other films that I mentioned earlier, not a film that I could entirely vibe with in a lot of ways. So yeah, it'll probably get sold on like those other films have done before. I am at the end of the day trying to make my collection as reflective of my taste as possible, and yeah, therefore I am having to try and weed out some films, which also has a necessary side effect in terms of freeing up space, which I clearly do not have much of. Ignore that gap. It's just purely there for the numerous amount of other Arrow video films that are going to be coming, or Vinegar Syndrome, whichever one has to fit in there. So yeah, that's pretty much the only biggest gap that I have left. So yeah, definitely do need to weed out some films, but I'm not, regretting seeing this. I'm always open to seeing films that expand my cinema knowledge or what I have seen. And yeah, at the end of the day, you don't know what you're going to enjoy until you try it. So yeah, fully glad that I have seen it. And at the end of the day, it's part of a membership that I already prepaid for. So, I had no choice about it arriving, and I may as well watch it before making any decision on whether or not to keep it. So yeah, decent effort. Can certainly see why people have rated it far higher than I have. So yeah, read reviews on Letterboxd if you're not entirely sure if you're gonna want to enjoy it or not, or gonna want to see it or will enjoy it. But yeah, I do still recommend seeing it, even though I've not given it the warmest of reception. So yeah, but nonetheless, if you have seen the film before, let's hear your thoughts on it. But nonetheless, thank you for watching, and I'll see you with the next one. Bye.